Hi guys, I just thought I'd use this video to talk a little bit more about virtual machines. I'll try and talk about a few things that I haven't covered in previous videos on them. So, as you can see, I've got Windows XP running in a virtual machine using Innotech VirtualBox. I've explained how to set up Ubuntu, so it's worth doing that because you can download Ubuntu for free. And you can download VirtualBox for free. Just go into my previous videos. I'm not going to provide any downloads links in this one because they're all in my previous videos. I've done it several times. So this is a virtual machine. Again, it's a PC inside a PC, which is great because then you can do things like testing, find out if applications work, install applications without worrying about having a virus, because if a virus gets put inside this virtual machine, it won't affect your computer unless you've somehow put it into a shared folder, because you can actually share your files with this operating system. You just enable a shared folder, put it on your desktop, and then share it, and then you can map a drive to it. And if you want to know how to do that, then I'll make another video on it. But as you can see, we're running Windows XP inside a virtual machine. Now, one feature I like about this VirtualBox is the seamless mode. Now, unfortunately, installing Ubuntu and things like that, seamless mode doesn't seem to work, but it does work on Windows versions. Well, I've tried XP and Vista and they've both worked in this seamless mode. Now, what I think it is that VirtualBox is, I'm not sure if it's more wayward towards Linux, but I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of content on VirtualBox running on Linux, because obviously Linux users might want to virtualize the XP system and run that, so their seamless mode seems to run like that for Windows, so they can then have their start bar in Linux or whatever. So I've got XP here. I'm just going to run it in seamless mode just to show you how it works. So with this host thing, you've got all these host things down here. At the moment my host is set to the right control, which you can change down here. So I'm just going to go to seamless mode. I say the virtual machine will now be switched to seamless mode. Yes, okay, switch. And straight away, if I move Cam Studio out of the way, I now have a second start bar on my machine. Now, obviously, because I've got a custom smaller start bar, this is actually supposed to lock itself to the start bar at the bottom, but because I've got a smaller one, I've got a little gap there. Well, that's what I assume anyway. So, as you can see, it's still got my original desktop. It's got my documents and all this. It just has a second start bar on here, and this is running in the virtual machine. I can just go to Start, My Computer, and it's loading up just like a normal window would. So, it's great to do this because your applications are then integrated into the operating system you're using, and if you're using applications inside a virtual machine, it won't affect your operating system. So again, useful for testing, and you don't have to run the virtual machine inside a box. You can have it look like it's native, but obviously you have your second start menu. So that is a useful feature really, if you are running other operating systems, or if you, for example, if I want to try out Vista and I don't want to keep it in a box, so I want to have it full screen or without going to full screen, I can then do that. And also that means I can switch between applications I have open and the applications that are on the virtual machine. So just a useful feature really. And another thing is that people have been saying about, if I right control on L, if I say, some people have been asking me about certain things not running, about it saying that regardless of them changing the virtual memory, the virtual video memory, that hasn't made any difference. Now, I don't think it would, because they have their own special adapter, and if you haven't installed the guest editions, which I think on Ubuntu some people were complaining, which the guest editions only I think does the mouse thing, so you can move in and out with it not affecting anything. I think regardless of how much memory you give it, it's still using its graphics adapter, which is I think equal to VGA or something like that. You don't get much memory with it. So I wouldn't expect to run full-scale games on things like this, because it's using like a default thing that VirtualBox have made inside. It's not actually using your video card, it's a virtual video card. So I'm not sure about things like DirectX support or 3D flipping and all that stuff. So I don't think it supports Aero either. So that's that point. Now the next one is another feature I like about VirtualBox, which is also essential for testing, is that you can make snapshots. Now, well, I'm actually going to make a snapshot because I've had a request from some YouTube users, which I'll go into in a second. And basically, you can take a snapshot of your virtual machine, and what it does is it pretty much freezes it. And all it does is it will save the state that it's in, regardless of what you're doing on it. It will save it. So I'm just going to say Snapshot 1, clean install, no apps. Click OK. It says save in the execution state, and it'll just save exactly what it's like. And then you can, if I was to make any changes now, if I was to, I don't know, do anything, rename the recycle bin or something, I could then go back into the main box of here, and it says Snapshots 1, it says current state changed. I can just right click and say revert to current snapshot, but obviously because it's on now I won't be able to do that, but I can just revert to the current snapshot. So you can make as many snapshots as your hard disk will allow you to have, which is ideal because you can switch back at any point to whatever you do, so it's great for testing. And some people have asked me where I've got xp.iso. Now that's actually made from a physical disk that I've got, which I've actually gone out and bought, so I haven't pirated anything there. It's an actual physical CD of Windows XP Service Pack 2, which is what I've installed on this virtual machine. So obviously I'm sure you can find your own little routes to find XP and a CD image of XP if you really want one. So the next thing to do is answer the question that I've been asked a couple of times on my channel. I'll just go into my videos. I've been asked, Hayes Duncan, this is from VegXD, it says, Hayes Duncan, I was wondering if you could try this. In a virtual machine with XP or Vista, go to the main drive, right click on Windows, click delete, then click OK, so we can see what happens. Okay, well, I'm not sure what you're expecting to happen. I'm not sure if you're expecting some genie to pop out of the virtual machine and then tell me that I'm a retard or something, because there's something called Windows File Protection, and it keeps all the important files in its DLL cache folder, and it will just restore them. But I very much doubt it will work as you think it will. But I can try, I'll run it from within Windows, because even though the Windows are going to be in use, and because I've made this snapshot, it doesn't matter. So I can revert back to the snapshot if I delete the Windows folder. But this is what happens when you delete the Windows folder, because I'm sure no one would dare do that on their machine. You're sharing C Windows as admin. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. Windows is a Windows system folder and is required for Windows to run properly. It cannot be deleted. So XP stops you from deleting the Windows folder. So that's what you. That's to answer your question. Now, if you would want me to delete the Windows directory from the entire virtual machine, as in, I don't know, log on a live Linux disk and then delete the Windows directory, all that would happen is I'd get something called it would say Windows file not found, and it would say hal.dll or ntldr is missing. That's one of the common things that it gets if it can't find the system files to start up. But that's what would happen if I deleted the Windows folder. So I don't know if you expected anything special to happen, but it won't let you delete it. So, and even if it did, you either get a blue screen or an error on startup. So okay then, well that's if you want to know, that's what happens. So that's just a little bit more of an explanation on virtual machines. If there's anything else you want to know, write a comment and I'll try my best to answer it if I know the answer to it, and I'm sure one of my viewers will also answer if they know. So thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.